Hello boys and girls. If you're a Tinder user watching this video, I'm sure you can agree with me that it's a jungle out there. This is why I have created this two-part guide, because I want to help people have a better experience navigating the highs and lows of online dating. If you're clicking on this video, you're looking to meet someone, or maybe you want to have a generally better dating experience, even if you're not looking for anything serious. This guide is for you either way. We all grew up with the idea of finding the one. The needle in a haystack, the frog that turns into a prince, and then Tinder came along. For better or worse, the app completely revolutionized the dating market. All you had to arm yourself with in the game of love and war was a picture and a sentence that most people won't even read. You were then thrust into the battlefield with other singles who were just as confused as you are as to how the whole thing works. If I have to use something to describe 85% of conversations I had on Tinder, this would be speed dating over text. It can get frustrating and dull quite quickly. Occasionally, you go for an awkward coffee date, where you sit in silence and sip tea because it's actually 9 p.m. and the male dater did not want to risk spending money on someone he may not even like. You also met on a weekday, because both of you reserved weekends for people you like more. Well, at least you like them more over text. But let's face it, the bigger the expectations, the bigger the disappointment. After the so-called date, deprived of romance, chivalry, and conversation for that matter, you either ghost immediately or politely continue the conversation for another 2-3 days, waiting for it to fizzle out slowly. Of course, you went back to swiping the same night you came back from the date. Or, if you were really bored, you were swiping whilst waiting for your date to come back from the bathroom. If this sounds familiar, keep watching. I will show you how to bring the fire back to Tinder. At this point, swiping is a habit. And the Tinder interface is like the fruit machines in a casino, where the house always wins, luring you back with the promise of new faces to have half conversation with over the span of 2 to 5 days. And just like a gambler, you keep coming back, because hope dies last. Definitely way after any sense of self-preservation. Well, this was my experience for years, going on and off the app, meeting random people for coffees, walks, and the occasional dinner dates if the guy was actually interested. But then one day I hit the jackpot. I survived. I endured. Some might even say I won the game of Tinder and beat its algorithm. I met my person off the app, and now we have a beautiful family. So if I, the most average looking, least interesting to look at person in the world, managed to find my person, then so can you. Trust me, if I was a size, I would be extra medium. If I was food, I would be boiled pasta on a white plate sitting in an empty dark kitchen with violins playing somewhere in the distance of the night. So I do think it's my responsibility to spread the word and put together this Tinder survival guide to help all daters and datees make their next Tinder date a great one. Well, no satisfaction guarantee, but I would aim for at least a good one, or at least one in the top half. In the first part of this guide, I will discuss what you should look for when matching with other people. The second part of this guide is the really difficult one. What are you doing wrong? Because let's face it, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we learn from them and move on. Well, I am offering you a chance to learn from my mistakes, and there's plenty of them. So there are 3 key rules to remember when dating. It is a numbers game. You cannot force someone to like you or force yourself to like someone you just don't. So it does come down to finding the right person. But there is such a thing as search optimization, which is what I would like to share with you in this video. My second piece of advice is drop the dead weight. No, I don't mean go on a diet. This video is not about that. I mean stop spending time on people that are not interested in you. The more time and energy you spend on the wrong people, the less you have left to spend on finding the right person. I will tell you what signs to look for that he or she just isn't that into you. Make sure you're not the messy one. Some people will like you, statistically most won't. And that's okay, because you only need to meet one person out of 7 billion and then you win the jackpot. However, you should do your best to come across presentable, both on your profile and in real life. Again, do not worry, you don't need to be perfect. There is no such thing. And some people are more physically gifted than others, and that's also fine. But anyone can come across put together and approachable. At the end of this video series, I will give you my bonus dating tips and hacks when it comes to meeting in real life. So, lesson number 1. Optimize your dating search engine. It is possible that I'm using this term incorrectly, I know nothing about computers, but I have learned through my dating experience that there is an efficient way to sieve through dating profiles. Actually, look at everything the person has included in their profile. If you don't read the provided information and look at all the photos, you may miss an important detail that deems that person not your person. So, what are common red flags to look for in profiles? And please pay close attention. Some may apply to you as well. A major red flag is when a datee has put no effort when posting pictures. The pictures are either shot at weird angles or smudged. It is 2022, and most likely the person has a smartphone. There is no reason why this person cannot take 2 decent pictures of themselves. It means they do not take dating seriously, or they believe themselves to be too good for a platform they willingly joined, which is a whole can of worms that I do not have time to go over in this video, and you don't have time for it in your life. Weird bio. Again, this comes down to how a person wants to present themselves to a potential partner. If that person has posted one sentence and it is something you find stupid, do not bother starting a conversation. Do not swipe right on people out of pity. I'm sure I'm not the only one who does that to prove that I'm a good person. In general, do not swipe on people you would not actually want to meet in person. You're wasting your time and their time. Do not swipe right on people where you have an ulterior motive. Don't swipe right on a person just because they have a nice car or if you do not like the person themselves. Hey, if they have a nice car and that's someone you're interested in, great. But the car probably isn't theirs anyway, and if you do go out, 9 out of 10 times you will have an awkward time because you're not naturally drawn to that person. Be picky about the right things. Look at the profiles like you would judge a friend's profile. This is the best advice I can give you. If you only get one takeaway, that's it. You cannot judge chemistry over a phone screen. If you can see yourself having fun with that person, and if this is someone that matches your vibe and your friend's vibe, the chances are you and that person will get along, making it a fun day out, even if there's no romance in the air. Now, this may be a pointless example because you don't know me, but this is someone I would not get along with at all. I hate hunting and I don't like camping either. This looks like someone I would absolutely get on with. I play guitar and I like drinking. Even if we do not hit it off, hey, maybe I'll get some info on some new bands. Now, once you match with someone, you need to actually talk to them. My genuine advice is, if you're the second to match, message the person straight away. Because people can sometimes miss their matches if they were the first to swipe right. Once you're in contact, keep the conversation going for 5 to 10 days before meeting. And try to arrange a video call. If you cannot even text for a few days or carry out a video conversation, chances are you won't have much to say to each other in person either. A video call will also allow you to see the person's mannerisms, how they talk, move, and express themselves. Many times, when I have not liked the person in real life, it wasn't because of how they looked just like their pictures, but how they communicated and carried themselves just wasn't how I imagined it. The whole date would have been avoided over a video call. Now, if you do not like video calls, I would like to remind you that it is a lot easier to make an excuse to end the call when things aren't going well than to leave a date. So from now on, video calls are your best friend. My last piece of wisdom is do not meet with people just because they're pushing you to. You do not owe your time to anyone. Meet when you feel comfortable. If you're worried about someone's reaction if you choose to postpone your date by a few days or a week, is it someone you really want into your life? If you suspect you may be some of the problem why you're not getting the results you want out of dating, don't worry. Click on part 2 and we can dive into what you can do to improve the first impression you give off to potential dates.